we're going to add this item, okay?
Oh, before she speaks. Okay.
No,
Okay.
right at the beginning of the
Right
meeting.
after. Right, but yes, I got it.
Yeah, sorry.
I hope I got it. No worries. Let me get my stuff.
Okay, you're live.
Thank you. Good evening. This is the meeting of the West Hartford Library Board, and the meeting will come to order. Welcome to the July 25th, 2022 meeting of the West Hartford Library Board. My name is Eileen Daly, and I am the chair of the West Hartford Library Board. This meeting is being conducted in a virtual format in accordance with allowed by law. Members of the public can view the meeting live on West Hartford Community Television at www.whctv.org and www.youtube.com/WHCTV5. Meeting is also being recorded for on-demand viewing and will be available on the town's website for at least 45 days. Since we are conducting this meeting in a virtual format, there are some special rules and procedures that I need to cover before we begin. First, I ask all participants to mute your device when you are not speaking. If you wish to be recognized, please raise your hand and I will call on you in the order I see hands raised. If you are participating by audio only, or I do not call on you and the debate is ending, then unmute your phone and let me know so that I can recognize you. Second, all speakers must make a good faith effort to state the person's name and title at the outset of each occasion that such person participates in the meeting. Third, all votes must be taken by roll call unless the vote is unanimous. Fourth, a reminder that if any participant has a problem with connectivity, you should immediately call Janet Valensis, whose phone number you were provided earlier. Janet will let me know and we will recess the meeting while the problem is resolved. If it cannot be resolved quickly, we will ask you to call into the meeting using a phone and participate by audio on the roll and note the staff members who are present. Tim Cohen, Gail Crockett, Eileen Daly, myself, Natalia Minjavar, Jill Spear, and also present is Laura Ermshire, Library Director, and Office Operations Specialist Janice Valensis. I think that takes care of things. So now we are going to add an item to the agenda. I'd like to take a motion to do so. Do I have one? Kim?
Tim Cohen, Library Board Member. I move to add an item to the agenda.
Do I have a second? Natalia?
Natalia Menhubar, Library Board Member. I second that motion.
Okay, and Laura, would you like to? The motion that we're adding concerns the library and their staff. So Laura, can you talk about that?
So the plan for our professional development is to have a full staff day and 2 half staff days where the library is closed and the staff attend trainings and do professional development activities. We had the full day in May, and so our next planned half staff day will be on September 8th. So I'm requesting that the board modify the library schedule to be closed from 9 to 2 on September 8th. We'll reopen at 2 at all 3 locations and be open from 2 to 5 that day.
Okay. So then before us, we have a motion to close the library on September 8th from 9 to 2 and reopen from 2 to 5 so that the staff can have a half day of staff development. Do I have a second? Or,
So moved.
okay, Jill, thank you.
Library Board Member, so moved.
Okay. So I think we're squared away for your September 8th day.
I think you want a second and a vote on that.
Okay, do I'll take a roll call then?
I think you need
Gail?
a second first. I don't think you saw
I
Gail's
thought you,
hand.
oh, okay, Gail, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Second the motion.
Thank you so much. So then a roll call is in order. Is that still correct?
Yes.
Natalia?
Natalia Menhubar, Library Board Member. Approve.
Kim?
Tim Cohen, Library Board Member. Approve.
Jill?
Jill Spear.
Gail Crockett, Library.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought she
Hey,
Go ahead, Gail.
Gail Crockett, Library Board Member. Approve.
Sorry for the false start. Jill?
Jill Spear, library board member, hard of hearing, approved.
All right, so that's out of the way. One moment. Thing to add. Oh, okay, so, next item is public comment. We don't have this evening. Item 3, approval of the consent agenda includes item 4, 8AI and 8AII. So, so that's already approved.
I'll make a motion to approve the
Make a
consent
motion.
agenda.
Second it.
Okay, thank you. All right. And then,
Do you
we'd
want
like
to, are you taking that vote by roll call or by consent?
I think we can do a consent for that one. Oh,
So raise your hand.
okay, everybody, it's all in favor, right? Okay, thank you. Number 4, approval of the minutes of the meeting on June 22nd. I have a motion to approve. Gail,
I, Gil Crockett, library board member, move the motion to approve the minutes.
thank you. I need a second. May I have a second? Hi, Kim.
Cohen, library board member, I second the motion.
Thank you. And under item number 5 for the chair's report, just Talia, did you have something to say? Okay. Just a reminder to all that are tuning in. We just want to let you know if you have anything that you want to have added to the agenda, please get it in during the week beforehand. You can always go online and check the due date for each month, but that way you'll be able to get your interests before us. And then I wanted to call on Jill to talk about the committee meeting that you had for the Elmwood project.
Jill Spear, library board member. Thank you. So I met as part of the Elmwood project, which is the Elmwood Community Cultural Center and Public Library. Big words, center. It was really productive meeting. Of course, Laura's, of course, on the I don't know what it is, the executive committee. I don't know what you guys call yourself, the project team or whatever that is. And they presented some material, and I will pass that out to you. I know we had a number of items we were doing, and one of the action items we're meeting in. So we met in July. We're meeting in August, and then again and we met in June. We're meeting in August, and then again in September, and then that's the end of that committee's effort. The committee had really broad participation in terms of people in the Elmwood community, social services, the energy area of West Hartford, Bernie, I can't remember what his department's called, the police. It was just really, really well attended, and they're all committee members. And one of the things they asked was they went around the room, and people were just brainstorming on kind of things they'd like to see after the group had the techno. Laura, what's their name again?
Tecton.
Made a presentation, and basically the brainstorming was in like 5 or 6 different areas, which organizations would use this facility. So it was clear that, from the beginning, that it's the public library, community center, a senior center, a teen center, some questions about whether there'd be a preschool there or not. And then there were other organizations that have interest in either hoteling there or part-time use of it, such as West Hartford Social Services or a branch office there, leisure services, the food pantry, emergency management, the police, the West Hartford schools, community, and potentially community groups. The other things that came up in the brainstorm was requirements about the indoor space in general. What kind of indoor space was it for activities or meetings or special, like the library clearly has things like stacks that are way different than other departments. It's not a meeting. It has certain requirements because, as Laura, librarians will tell you about the weight and stuff. So they talked about indoor space. Another topic was outdoor space, a little bit about whether it'd be outdoor meeting space or event space and that sort of thing. The next area that people talked about was storage space, so that there was, what I call non-public dedicated space, so that the library has storage space. If the teen center would have storage space, and then there was specialized storage needs. For example, the libraries had archival needs, and various groups had technology equipment needs, and then storage space like refrigerated storage space, for food pantry or for multiple organizations. The next thing they people talked about was some things about the site itself, like parking, and whether that parking would be for, drop-off areas, clearly with its preschools, we have drop-off areas as well. The third and last, two more things they talked about were generalized building capabilities, like uninterrupted, like directional signage or natural light, or uninterrupted power supply, or sustainability, around all those things. And they talked about room capabilities like configurable lighting or soundproofing between organizations and event space, et cetera. Again, natural light. And then they've had people talked about sort of what information engineers or project managers call non-functional requirements, like securitability, accessibility, maintainability, sustainability, those sort of things. So, and aesthetics, things like that. So non-functional kind of things. So I'll be providing some information again to the board. Every one of the things that we had discussed previously were already on there. I had a chat with one of the women who was facilitating the section afterward to say, well, I'm assuming these things are, when you say that you're going to meet the library's needs, does that mean all of these things? And they were all already in their list, which was a good thing. So what they wanted to do was, that was the must-haves versus, like to haves or would like to have. So I wanted to share that information with you, and I'll be sending some more information out to you as I get it. And I'm sure Laura will be providing even more information to us as we go along. So that ends my report.
Eileen, you might be on mute. I didn't hear you. I don't know if others did.
I thought I had muted myself, so sorry. I'm glad to hear things are going well and moving right along. So here we are. Now we did the director's reports are all set. And now it looks like we're ready for the executive session. Unless, the current monthly briefing. I'm going to have that in capitals next month, okay? Laura, you're up.
Thank you, Eileen. Laura Armstrong, Library Director. I do have a briefing for you before we go into executive session. And Jill, thank you for your comments about the Community Center Advisory Committee. I did want to just add on a few things about the project in general. So I think its project team would be the best way to describe us. So the town has an internal group that is meeting with the architects and is also present with the advisory committee. So that's made up of the town manager, Rick Ledwith, myself, Helen Rubino-Turco, the Director of Leisure and Social Services, and also Catherine DeBinney, who is the energy specialist. So we meet occasionally with the architects to provide information to help work with them through the process as they're meeting with the advisory committee and getting input from the rest of the community. And we met, it was last week, I believe, and we talked about communication strategies and how we can work together to get more information out about this project and be sharing just the milestones and the different aspects of it. And so from that meeting, we decided that the library's website is going to host the project page, and the architects are working on the content for that. So I think in the next week or two, we'll probably have that up. So that'll be one place that we can direct everyone. And we thought that made sense since the library is seen as an information provider, that we would be the place to host the information. If there are surveys, we can point to people through our page on that. And we're also going to work together, coordinated with the town and the architects on various information, whether it's through emails, we'll put it in our newsletter, we'll participate in social media campaigns. We also talked about making sure there's information in physical location for anyone who isn't online. So we'll have things in our branches. We'll have the information at the community centers. If there's other places in town, we'll have it at town hall to try to cast a wide net to make sure people are aware this is going on, how they can provide input, the existence of the advisory committee and their work so that we can really get the word out to everybody. And so I will continue to share information as I have it, in addition to Jill's reports from the advisory committee. So that's the update as I know it from the project. And then a few more library updates I wanted to share with you today. We're continuing our recruitment efforts, and we've hired 2 part-time children's librarians. Ashley Ewert and Erin Simmons have joined our team. And we also hired Christine Acurantes, who's a tech assistant. And so these new hires, in addition to the ones I mentioned last month, are really to bolster our part-time staff who are filling in when we have vacations or vacancies or helping to round out the desk coverage. We had our part-time staff had become a little sparse as we were coming out of the pandemic. So this is helping us to make sure we have coverage all of our hours. Unfortunately, we've also seen an uptick of absences related to COVID. So this is helping to make sure that we are staying open and covered all the hours that we have public service. A few highlights about library card signups. We had Karen and Bailey visit the Norfell Elementary School for their spring fair. They promoted upcoming summer programs and signed kids up for library cards. And Carrie and Sarah have been working for a few weeks now to get a lot of students from Hull High School signed up, and we had over 100 cards for those students added to our system. So we're excited to see some young West Hartford community members adding their library services to their options there. Recently, Andrew Pirro and I met with staff from the adult education program. It was really a great opportunity for us to learn about each other's services and see how closely we're aligned in some areas. We discussed future collaborations and had a nice little mini brainstorming session with ideas about how we can provide library orientations to their classes and how we might be able to partner on some classes, maybe in the fall or next spring, and really combining our efforts and broadening our reach between the 2 services. And then I wanted to finish with some program highlights. I'm happy to share our cookbook club is returning this fall, and I am really excited to join the group. I'm going to help Anne-Marie lead the program, and this is one of the things I've been looking forward to since I got the job, so I'm happy that this is finally returning. Bishop's Corner and Faxon each hosted a teddy bear sleepover, and this is the cutest program in the world. So children drop off their favorite stuffed animals, and they spend the night at the library. And so our amazing creative children's librarians, Bailey and Ellen, they take pictures of the animals playing in the library. They had a campfire. They tuck them into sleep. And then when the kids come and pick them up, they report back on their activities and share the programs. And so they can see how much fun their stuffed animals had. And only one kid was sad that she didn't have her stuffed animal at night. The rest of them were very excited to hear about their adventures.
Oh, goodness.
And lastly, we're in the middle of a successful coding program for teens. The Society of Women Coders is hosting a virtual 5-week series called Coding Without Borders. Last I checked, we have about 40 attendees, and these are people from West Hartford, the US, and even in some other countries. So it's a great way to build the skill set and also connect with people all over the world. So that's my abbreviated report. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Where do we get pictures of the teddy bears?
Yeah.
I had some in the June administrative report, and I just got some more. So I will make sure that I share those pictures. They are adorable.
They should be on the Instagram.
I think they were putting them on their Facebook page too, but I'll double check on that.
That's funny, because
Laura,
have-
just one
Go ahead.
comment to try to make sure that cookbook club isn't the same night as our board meeting. we
It
should
can't
avoid
be
that
because I have to attend and I have to be
Exactly,
here.
that's what
So
I'm saying.
I already worked that out with Anne Marie. I'm like, it cannot be this night.
Good.
Well, I think that was a very happy briefing. I remember taking my daughter to the teddy bear picnic. I don't know if these teddy bears will join up in the spring or anyway. So we've completed our items, and that brings us now correctly to the executive session time. So at this point, Laura, we're going to ask you to excuse yourself as you know, and then we will text you when we're ready to have you rejoin.
Yeah, Eileen, point of
Yes.
process
Order.
here. Yeah, thank you. I knew there was a word in there.
That's all right.
I think we need to take a motion to go into executive session.
Okay, this is my first one, so let me, may I have a motion to bring the meeting into an executive session, please? Jill,
Jill Spear, Library Board Member, so moved.
may I have a second? Gail? You're on mute.
Gail Crockett, Library Board Member, second the motion to move into executive session.
Thank you. You're on mute too.
Since you're moving into executive session, I will stop the live streaming and you will
Okay.
report to me tomorrow with the end date of the executive session as well as the meeting so that I can post those in the minutes.
Okay,
Janet, point of order?
Yes.
Excuse me, Library Board Member Jill Spear. You also need to, we have to make a motion to go out of executive session and then end the meeting, right? So you'll need to know who made those motions as well.
Well, because that motion is within executive session, I do not need to know.
Okay,
I just need to know the time the executive session ended and the time the meeting ended.
I'll, Kim Cohen, Library Board Member, I'll, as secretary, take that note and shoot you a note, Janet, later.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to turn off the live streaming and then I'm going to sign off.
okay.
And I'm going to sign off and you'll let me know when you're ready to return. Okay.